Hello and welcome to another Assemble This video. Today I'm having fun with this cute little coffee cup and creating a snowy winter background. It's just a fun way to use your distress inks and stamps to create a pretty winter background for your cards. I'm featuring the Joy, Peace, and Comfort stamp set by Unity Stamp Company. Just love this cute little snowflake to-go cup and the fun little joy sentiment that fits right in the center. I'm starting out with my image pre-stamped with some Copic friendly ink. My preference is the Gina K Amalgam ink or Memento. And I'm just going to simply color in the background of the cup. I find this is a very Christmassy red. Kind of reminds me of the Starbucks cups, the red cups they have for the season. So that's what I'm doing, is just coloring in the background, just a solid color. And then I'm using another color of red just to create a bit of shadow. The background color was R29 and then the shadow color is R59. And I'm just outlining one side of that snowflake just to create a bit of dimension in the look of the project. Super easy, really easy coloring with this image. And then last, I'm going to add a bit of shading with N1 just on the sides of the white spaces. Again, just kind of creates a bit of dimension with the look of the cup. And then I'll add just a little bit of shading on the snowflake as well. Adding a little bit of gray to the white just creates a bit of dimension and helps it pop. Doesn't look so flat against the cardstock. Perfect. Simple. Just two colors of red and the gray shading, and we have a super sweet little coffee cup. And then I thought I'd add a little bit of sparkle. It is a wintry card, so I grabbed my Wink Estella clear glitter pen and just adding the glitter to the snowflake and then that center sleeve of the cup as well. Just adds a bit of subtle sparkle to the card. I like these glitter pens because the glitter does not fall off, but it does add a little bit of dimension and shine. Cute. I just love this little coffee cup. I'm going to use it for tons of things. Now let's get started on our background. I did start out with some Nina 110-pound cardstock. I have it folded into a card base, and then I taped that down onto my surface, creating a mask. And I used a die as the guide for the size of my rectangle, and then masked that off with some post-it note tape. My intent was to have a flat card and just have the background with a crisp edge on my card front. That's going to change, and we'll see why later in the video. So I just grabbed two colors of Distress inks. I'm using Dusty Concord for the purple, and then the vibrant blue is Salty Ocean. And I'm just blending those on using my blending brushes. And I'm using just blocks of color. I'm not trying to get a perfect blend. I like the separation of the blocks. It works out in the end. It will soak into the paper a bit and then they kind of meld together. So it looks like a hot mess at this point, but have faith that it will work out in the end. I'm just going to keep adding layer and layer of ink, and that will kind of blend it all together. But I do want the separation of the purple and the blue. I don't want it all blended perfectly together. Make sure you are generous with the ink though. You do want to saturate it and make sure that it's fully covered. Next, I'm just going to add some water splatters. I tried out this Distress spray bottle. It does create much bigger splotches, which I'm okay with, but they ended up being a little bit too big in the end, so I'll probably go back to my finger and clapping technique to add not so many big splotches. And then I used a baby wipe to just pick up the excess water, and that kind of lifts some of that color off the page, so you see the dimension of the water droplets. And then I did dry that completely with my heat tool before I moved on to stamping. Now I'm using the cute little snowflakes from the Holiday Faith, Hope, Love Sentiment Kit. I just love the size of these little snowflakes for this background. Grab your favorite pigment ink. This is a color box that I had in my stash. I don't think they make color box anymore. So I do have a backup of Gina K white pigment ink that I do often use as well. Just trying to use this up since it was sitting on my desk. And I'm just mixing up the different sizes of the snowflakes and stamping over my background. Super easy stamping, and I just love the effect. And then last, we're going to add some white splatters. This is a white unicorn spray ink. If you don't have that, just grab some acrylic white paint, add a little bit of water, and then splatter that on with a paintbrush. And then we're going to, again, dry this really well. The pigment ink takes forever to dry, so it's just nice to hit it with your heat tool. So now we come to where I end up changing direction. When I removed my post-it note tape, I noticed that the water bled underneath the tape, which, is not a bad effect, but I was really looking for a nice crisp edge. So I used that die rectangle that I had used for the size of the rectangle in the beginning, and I just die cut that out. And I'm much happier having the crisp edge of that background against the white cardstock. So I created a new card base, die cut out that background, and I'm just going to glue it straight down into the area of the card that I had planned on in the beginning, and using some liquid adhesive for that just to make sure I have a nice flat adhesion. And then I put a block over the top of that so it would dry flat. Then I added a bit of foam tape behind that coffee cup so it would pop up against that background. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle and shine and movement to the card with some sequins. It's a combination of some white and silver sequins and silver stars, and just going to glue those down around the coffee cup using some glossy accents. I always just love the touch of having a little bit more shine to the card. And here is the finished card. That sweet coffee cup is my absolute favorite. I'm so happy that I ended up die cutting out the background for a crisp edge, and I love how those pretty snowflakes just pop against the wintry colors. And to finish it all off, there's just a bit of shine from the glitter pen and sprinkle of sequins. This little card is going to be perfect for all those small coffee shop gift cards I give away during the holidays. As always, I'll have all the supplies linked in the description of this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Plus, if you have any questions or a sweet comment, post below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.